One Piece is a masterpiece. In the hellstorm of terrible live-action anime adaptations, one after the other, the seemingly easy slam dunks that should have been Cowboy Bebop and Death Note were nothing short of train wrecks in slow motion at best. But One Piece live action, the one that actually made the most sense to fail, the one that would be unadaptable, turned out to be the only live action to ever truly get it right. So, how did that happen? Well, in today's video, we're going to be analyzing why One Piece succeeded as a series in the dust of those which came before it, and how, hopefully, this is a learning lesson for future live-action adaptations. My friends, you have helped me reach the funny number of 69k subs, which means we're on our way to 70k. And if everyone watching this video hits that subscribe button and drops a like on the video, hey, we'll get there right now. Thank you all for your support. Let's get into the video. So we have to start our tale fittingly at the very beginning with the announcement of One Piece live action. Most people on the internet, including myself, saw this as yet another cynical cash-in on an anime franchise by Hollywood that would serve to meaninglessly change the source material and soul of the original story due to egos and out-of-touch writers wanting to leave behind their own legacy. And rightfully so. The anime fandom had just come off the heels of two of the worst adaptations ever in Cowboy Bebop and the very maligned, basically meme at this point, Death Note. So nobody had any real expectations for this beyond it being yet another horrible adaptation of a beloved franchise, except this time, it was clearly different. Behind the scenes, Netflix were slowly putting together a team of Mark Jopps, Matt Owens, and many other people who aren't like the others, basically. Netflix was putting together a team of super fans of One Piece and open minds alike to do something nobody else had done before. Make something good. Something that would truly break the live-action curse. This is the most integral piece of the puzzle, as the team behind One Piece live action began their work in rewriting the series to more naturally fit the expectations of Netflix watchers, while also paying respect to Eiichiro Oda, the series' original creator, and capturing for the fans the original heart and spirit of it all. In other words, they wanted to create an adaptation that was both new and at the same time, the very same series we all fell in love with. And it cannot be understated the amount of effort that went into One Piece live action. From the cast and crew actually taking input from Eiichiro Oda to him actually demanding many scenes be reshot, which they all did. However, in studying a lot of the behind-the-scenes effort from the crew and cast, one thing actually quickly became apparent. The people they hired for One Piece's live action were all super fans, or at least willing to be open-minded and read the damn series. It's these key hirings that would help the production stay the direction they needed to nail this series. Instead of hiring people who didn't get the original source material, of course, they hired people who loved the original material. This to me is the key reason why One Piece succeeded. So let's get into how the series actually did it, episode to episode. And really, it begins and ends with the themes of the story. Getting into the story of One Piece live action, we must mention outright that this series is just a little different from the anime or manga altogether. Many of the story beats and major moments are really the same, which is important, but we have to recognize that they took a lot of liberties with this live action to create a story, like a puzzle to slot in the right places and moments, and take 90-something chapters of the manga to make sure it would work as an 8-episode series. They changed a lot, but kept the main things the same. Like, for example, Mihawk's introduction, which features him taking out Don Krieg, the actual major antagonist from Barati-Hey, who doesn't even die in the manga, but does here in the live action. How about another change, like Buggy having a more sinister and dark tone along with his classic humor, taking the character and making him a fixture throughout the entirety of the season. This is a massive change, as Buggy should technically disappear after episode 2 of this series if we're going by story canon. However, while a lot is changed, it's what remains the same that has captivated so many people. For example, the themes of the One Piece live action are 100% the same to the source material. And the biggest example of this is inherited will, which is a massive aspect of One Piece. What this means is that the next generation will carry on the ideals of the previous generation. and we can see this throughout our main cast. Luffy, as an example, ate the devil fruit and took on the will of Shanks to become the king of the pirates. Luffy is great in this regard because we can see his inherited will throughout the straw hat he wears in the series. He cares deeply about this hat as it's a representation of his dream and his promise to Shanks that he can't afford to lose or back down from. This is why Luffy is a driving force of change in the series. When he meets Zoro and Nami, it changes the both of them, especially the latter to believe in their dreams again and achieve everything that they ever could possibly want. That's what Luffy really inherited from Shanks, is the ability to dream and fight for that dream, and to help others do so. Zoro's inherited will is tied to his promise to a childhood friend and dojo mate named Kuena. Kuena was a highly skilled swordsman and the daughter of the master of the Isshin Dojo, where Zoro trained. Both Zoro and Kuena shared a dream of becoming the world's greatest swordsman. They made a promise to each other that one of them would achieve this dream, with Kuena initially holding the title of the dojo's strongest swordsman. However, tragedy struck when Kuena died at a young age due to falling down the stairs. Zoro was devastated by her death and felt the weight of their shared dream. In her memory, and as a way of honoring her, Zoro adopted Kuena's dream as his own and set out on a journey to become the world's greatest swordsman. Zoro's inherited will is not only about achieving his dream, but also about fulfilling the promise he made to Kuena. He carries her dream with him throughout the series, often stating that he will not lose to anyone until he fulfills their shared dream. This promise and the pursuit of the title of the world's greatest swordsman drives Zoro's actions and decisions in One Piece, making Kuena's will a fundamental part of his character development. The same goes for Nami, as Nami's inherited will is tied to her mentor and surrogate mother, Belmere, and the island she grew up on, Kokoyashi Village. Belmere was a marine officer who adopted Nami and her sister Nojiko, and she raised them with love and care. Belmere's dream was to provide a peaceful and happy life for her daughters, and she made many sacrifices to ensure their well-being. However, Belmere's dream was cut short when Arlong, a fishman pirate, took control of Kokoyashi Village and demanded an exorbitant tribute from the villagers. Belmere sacrificed herself to save Nami and Nojiko, and she was executed by Arlong. Before her death, Belmere instilled in Nami the importance of survival and the belief that she should live on and achieve her dreams. Nami's inherited will, therefore, revolves around fulfilling the dream that Belmere could never realize herself. Nami is determined to create a map of the entire world, a task that requires immense skill, knowledge, and resources. She becomes a cartographer and navigator for the Straw Hat Pirates, and her dream is to create a complete and accurate map of the world, including the dangerous Grand Line. This dream is not only a tribute to Belmere's memory, but also a way for Nami to honor her sacrifice and the love she showed as a mother. Nami's journey in One Piece is a powerful example of how the concept of inherited will can shape a character's motivations and drive them to pursue their dreams with unwavering determination, even in the face of incredible challenges and adversity. As well, Sanji's inherited will involves him finding All Blue, a place where all sorts of fish, spices, and variety of life that has never been tasted before exists. This is Sanji's inherited will. He is given by Zeph, who after being stranded on an island for months, starving, survived by eating his own leg and giving the only rations to Sanji. This is because he believed that Sanji was just an eggplant worth protecting, as they both had the same dream. Because of this, Sanji feels that he owes his life to Zeph and will find the All Blue for him, leaving the Baradier and pursuing his true dream. In many ways, Zeph and Sanji's dream connect the two as sort of a father-son kind of relationship as well. And the point I'm trying to make is that I took all of this really from the manga, and I applied it to the live action, and it stayed the same. This is something very easily the creators of this series could have glossed over, but they didn't, and they kept it in. Not only as a major theme, but completely unchanged. That's an accomplishment, and the same thing carries over to other aspects of the live action as well. One of the major themes in One Piece is having a dream and pursuing it with a little help from your friends. I think this is most seen in the series with Luffy and Nami, as both, when meeting, could not be on more of a separate page. Luffy wants her to join his pirate crew, but she refuses to do so despite them being a great team, all things considered. And we throughout see that Nami grows to be dependent on Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji to some degree. Her whole character arc is really just coming to terms with the fact that she cannot get 100 million belly and save her village alone. Arlong has kept her chained up, leading her along all of her life with no intentions of ever freeing her, as her talents as a cartographer are too valuable to him. So, when she gets her money stolen by Arlong, all she can do is curse his existence and in anger, stab the tattoo on her shoulder, as with Arlong being a fishman, a knife could never even break his skin, let alone do any sort of damage to him. So, this is the best she can do. Fishmen are just superior to humans in that regard. So Nami's dream is basically taken advantage of by Arlong to be used for his gain. And it isn't until Nami, at the end of her rope, accepts that she can't do it alone and embraces Luffy and the Straw Hats. She needed friends to help her and realized that she should have trusted them all along, as they always had her back and embraced her with open arms, even encouraging her to chase her own dreams. And it's only then does Nami actually free her people from Arlong and in turn free herself. This is because of Luffy, who believes that nobody should get in the way of another person's dream. That, even for him as their captain, Luffy should be the one to actually encourage them to chase that dream even if they fail doing so. Because by pursuing that dream, they are pursuing their own happiness. Luffy knows a lot about this, as we never see Luffy sad or depressed in the series. We always see him smiling and excited about the next adventure. Because to him, that's what life is. It's just one big adventure after the other. And this is why the story of Garp chasing after Luffy is so well done in this live action. Garp went through the dark years of Gold Roger. He was the man who executed him after all. So to see Luffy want to be a pirate, well, it makes total sense why he was so against it. Why he pursued Luffy to the ends of the East Blue to try and stop him. It was all a test to see if Luffy could even do it. To see if he lived up to the name of Gold Roger and those which came before him. To see if he could carry on the inherited will to the next generation. Garp was trying to stop Luffy's dream, and no matter what, Luffy would never give up, even if it meant fighting his own family to prove himself and to prove his dream. That's the lengths Luffy would go to pursue it, because to him, without a dream, he might as well be dead. He's 100% defined by the chase of becoming king of the pirates, and in his mind, he will achieve that goal. After all, to him, he's Monkey D. Luffy, and that's his identity. It's who he is, and he doesn't listen to anyone when others tell him to stop. He just keeps going because it's what makes him the most happiest. One Piece live action is a masterpiece, and I'll tell you guys why it really succeeded. It's because the showrunners had zero compromises to the original vision of what One Piece was and still is. They didn't change any characters, any theme, or, matter of fact, any dream. They made something that was a love letter to One Piece and to the East Blue Saga, and they absolutely nailed it for that reason. So take note, Netflix live action series, this is how you make a live action adaptation. You don't compromise the original vision, you don't rewrite characters to be commentaries on internet culture, and you sure as hell don't make it to spite the very fans that only want something to love, not hate. One Piece is fun. It's freeing, and it's supposed to make you happy when you read it, and encourages you to live your life your way and pursue your dream that makes you happy. That's all that matters in life, as without a dream, there is no meaning to what we do as people, no matter how idyllic that may sound. In my opinion, One Piece live action is the very first, and hopefully not only, live action adaptation masterpiece. And I say masterpiece because I think it's the first to do something like this at this level. It may not be perfect, some of the acting isn't great, some of the lenses they use for the cameras and the shots that they have, they're not the greatest, but you can't deny it had heart and passion and a need to create something that others can look to and go, this is how you do it. In the same way Iron Man brought on the Marvel era, One Piece live action could very well usher in the new era of Netflix live action anime adaptations. So listen up, people. This is the blueprint. This live action is the bare minimum of what we should now expect, because there is no excuses when watching this that every anime live action should be cared for with the same amount of love as this. Zero. excuses. But with that being said, what did you think about the One Piece live action? Do you think it's a masterpiece or do you think it's totally failed? Whatever your opinions are, I would love to hear them in the comments below. And if you want to financially support the channel, check out my Patreon where I cover the One Piece manga arc by arc. Our next video being on Arabasta, which will be 90 minutes in length. Don't miss it, become a patron now. Thanks for watching, bye bye.